In this section, we want to talk about measures of center and then move into a discussion of skewness by first starting off with the mean, median, and mode, which are all three measures of center that likely you've encountered in previous courses at different grade levels, but you may not have a good idea as to why we have these three different measures, which all are essentially getting at the same idea. They're each a numerical summary that helps us understand the middle of our data set. So in example 1, a recent survey of 9 randomly selected people were asked how many children they have, and the results are reported below. We're asked what is the mode, or what are the modes of this data. The mode is the number, if we're talking about numerical data like we are in example 1, the number that occurs the most frequently, or if we're talking about qualitative data, the response that occurs the most frequently. In this case, 0 is the response that occurs most often. It occurs 4 times, so the mode of this data set would be 0, because it occurs 4 times. If there was another value that also occurred 4 times, there would be more than one mode. But in this case, we only have a single data value that occurs the most frequently. In example 2, we have in a recent survey, 5 randomly selected people were asked which Illinois state park is their favorite, and the results are again reported below. Now we don't have numerical values that are being reported, just qualitative values that are being reported. And in this case, Loudon-Miller occurs most frequently with 4 people reporting that answer. So the mode of this data set would not be a number, but the category or the response, Loudon-Miller, which again occurs 4 times. In example 3, now we want to move on to the mean and median and review, most likely, how we come up with those values. In example 3, we want to use the list of values below to answer the following questions. So in part A, we'll find the mean, which we represent symbolically as x with a vertical bar drawn over top of it, and we read that as x bar. That's our symbol for a sample mean. And to find the mean of that data set, we add all of the given data values together and divide by the number of data values. So in this case, we have 3 data values, so we'll divide by 3. That will give us 13 divided by 3, or approximately 4.3333. To find the median of our data, we first need to arrange the data in ascending order. Meaning we need to list the data values from smallest to largest. In this case, that would be 2, 3, and then 8. And our median is the number that occurs in the middle of that data set. So in this case, no formula is required. The median, which we represent with a capital M, is going to be equal to 3. In example 4, now we have a data set with 4 data values. We're going to see that calculating the mean remains an identical process, but our process for calculating the median changes a little bit. To find the mean, which is x bar, we still take all of the data values added together and then divide by the number of data values that we have, which in this case is 4, to get 26 over 4, or 6.5. To find the median, we first rewrite the data values in ascending order. So this will be 3, 4, 9, and then 10, and then we look for the middle value. In this case, there is no number in our data set that's the exact middle. We have two numbers that represent the middle. So what we do is average those two values. Or find the mean of those two data values. So we take 4 plus 9 divided by 2, which equals 13 over 2, or 6.5. So our median, M, is equal to 6.5. Generally, we're going to be using technology to take care of our calculations, but let's just demonstrate where some of these values are coming from, just so we have an idea of what generates these. And most importantly, to understand that it's a different process that helps us arrive at the mean versus the median. Because what we can see is that sometimes we get we get results that are identical. In example 4, our mean and our median were exactly equal to each other. But in example 3, we came up with different values. Not far off, but the mean and the median can be further apart from each other or closer together, because again, just keep in mind that we're using different methods to calculate those same values.